Welcome to Elements of a Drama. All right, the criteria for today. You are going to learn vocabulary to use in discussing drama, recognize the elements of a drama, and strategies for reading a drama. Let's go ahead and get started. All right, before we get started, you're going to go to Brain Pop, watch the video titled Drama, then take the review quiz. If you don't score at least a 7 out of 10, watch the video again. My class, Ms. Carrasco's class, Silver Team, you have the graded quiz attached to your Brain Pop. So make sure that you take the graded quiz as well. But you're going to take the graded quiz after we go through the slideshow. All right. Drama. It's a form of literature that is performed for an audience, either on stage or before a camera. Now, the similarities and differences between drama and fiction, well, both drama and fiction tell stories. They both have characters, they both have a plot and a setting. The difference is the way it's written. So a drama is written so that it can be performed. It's written in a special form called a script. It's lines that are written out for characters to speak. Now, there are two types of drama. There's the tragedy and the comedy. Tragedy shows the downfall or death of a tragic hero or a main character. In ancient Greek plays, the hero was a good person brought down by a tragic flaw or a defect in the character. In modern plays, the hero can be a normal person and destroyed by an evil in society. It emphasizes human greatness. And then comedy. Comedies often show a conflict between opposite age groups, genders, or personality types. Typical comedies involve confusion, jokes, and a happy ending. And it stresses human weakness. So you may have, let's say, someone who's very serious and very punctual, and the other character in the play may be someone who's just like kind of go with the flow, they don't care, and they just like do whatever. And these two kind of butt heads, and they get, they resolve issues within each other, and it's typically really funny. All right, parts of the script. Now, you have the cast of characters, which is a list of characters that often has a short description appearing next to the character's name. This is usually at the beginning of the play. So before you get started reading your play, look at the cast of characters. Then you have the dialogue. That's the actual conversation between the characters. Both plot of the play and the characters' personalities are revealed through the dialogue. All right, so let's look at an example. It doesn't have the cast of characters, but if it were to have a cast of characters, just imagine it being here at the top, and it says produce man, charming guy who works at the produce grocery store, and then Daisy, who's a sweet old lady. Let's just pretend that's what the cast of characters says. So then you have the dialogue here. It actually shows you who's speaking and then what they're saying. You don't read the person's name when you're reading the play out loud. So let me get my acting chops. How many peaches for you today, Mrs. Worthen? 3, thank you. You're not going to be getting any better ones the rest of the summer. Let me give you a few more. That was my acting for the day. You can go ahead and give me a round of applause. Thank you. But when you read a play, try and imagine what the character is like and give them a personality. That was the best I could do. All right, stage directions. Now, stage directions are instructions for the director, the performers, and the stage crew. These are printed in italics or in enclosed parentheses. Many stage directions tell the actors like how to speak, how to move. They also describe the scenery, all the decorations on the stage that help create the setting. So props, the objects that the actors need during the play, are also described in the stage directions. You do not read the stage directions. Let's take a look at an example. All right, so at the top, those are stage directions. It just tells you what's happening on stage. So Bully goes into the pantry where Daisy is transferring pickles from a large crock pot into jars. And then you have the dialogue, Daisy, right here. And it says Daisy is off camera because where's Daisy? She's in the pantry. So off camera or off stage, you hear Daisy scream, no. And then Miriam is apparently, she's going to come on stage and says, don't worry, sugar, I'll come after for temple tomorrow. Then you have Idella enters with dishes of ice cream. So these people are on stage, then Idella is entering with dishes of ice cream. All right, acts and scenes. This is another part of the play. The action of the play is divided into different scenes. So a scene changes whenever the setting changes. Sometimes scenes are grouped into different acts. Now, in a movie or a television script, the scenes are not usually labeled by number. TV drama, a commercial break often comes between scenes. So in a stage play, the lights will dim and the curtain closes, or music plays while the props are being changed. So there are several scenes in a play, and then within the scenes, you may have a couple of different acts. But the scene changes are just for that, for the scene to change. So the setting starts off in a wonderful garden, and then it moves into a castle. They'll have different scenes. Let's take a look at an example. So here we have the first scene. It's called Front Hall. Daisy puts on her hat and gathers her gloves and purse. Then you have another scene is the backyard. Daisy is backing her car out, so these are all stage directions, backing her car out of the garage, suddenly shoots backwards and stops, hanging over the edge of the neighbor's stone wall. Daisy gets out and slams the door, and the car drops into the neighbor's garden. So these are things that would be physically shown on stage versus being read out loud. All right. Strategies for reading a drama. Now, there are 6 strategies. Let's go ahead and take a look at the first one. It says, first, read the play silently. You need to know the entire plot to understand the characters before you read it out loud. So before you read it out loud, read the play silently to yourself and try and understand the plot and the characters. Number 2, figure out what is happening. So be patient. Read several pages to understand what is happening. You may have to read it a couple of times. I'm not going to lie. Some plays are a little bit more challenging than others. But if you're reading the stage directions, if you know the characters, things like that, it gets a little easier. Rule number 3, read stage directions carefully. When you read drama, you must imagine the action and the scenery. If you skip the stage directions, you miss some important information. So read those stage directions carefully because those stage directions also help you understand your characters a little bit more. And then number 4, get to know the characters. So dialogue is how you get to know the characters. Analyze the characters' words carefully and try to discover the meaning behind them. So characters are going to say specific words for a specific reason. It helps you understand what kind of person they are, what kind of character traits they have. But also think of those stage directions. So it might say, Miriam shouts at the top of her lungs, no, stuff like that. So read those stage directions carefully and then get to know your characters. Number 5, keep track of the plot. Now, the plot of a drama centers on the main conflict that the characters try to resolve. Sound familiar? Look for the conflict, watch for the action to build to a climax, and evaluate how the conflict is resolved. It's somebody want a butso then. Just saying. And then 6, read the play aloud. Now, if you don't do steps 1 through 5, reading the play aloud will be a hot mess. So make sure you do steps 1 through 5 before you read the play aloud. When a drama is performed, it becomes almost like real life. You bring in your own interpretation of the character to the role. Let yourself become the character. React to other characters in the story. So reading the play aloud is obviously the most fun part. It's where you get to use your acting chops and create these awesome characters and react to one another. But make sure that you do steps 1 through 5 first. So get to know the characters, understand the plot, read the whole entire play before you read it out loud. All right, theater etiquette. Now, this is very, very important. If you ever choosing to venture out into the world and watch theater, you need to follow these rules. All of the people involved in the production of both cast and crew work very hard to ensure they give you a great performance. Now, it's the job of the audience members to help the performers give the best performance possible. The audience can do this by practicing the rules. Let's take a look. 1. Be on time to the theater. Turn off cell phones upon arrival. 2. Be quiet so others around you can hear the performance. 3. You should use the restroom before the show begins and not get out of your seat while the show is being performed. 4. You should not eat, chew gum, or drink any beverages while watching the show. And 5. While it is appropriate to respond to funny, shocking, or entertaining moments out loud, you should respect others around you and their enjoyment of the play by not responding with loud, inappropriate reactions. All right, guys. So when should you applaud? Yes, obviously those rules say be mindful of those around you, but you do want to applaud. These people worked really hard to put on a show. So stand and applaud if you really thought the show was great. That's called a standing ovation, and it honors the actors who worked so hard to give a great performance. And it is also customary to applaud at the end of songs and at curtain call, when the actors come out and take their final bows. Throughout the show, the audience members may choose to applaud when something is particularly outstanding has just been performed, but do not whistle or scream out to the performers, except for at the end, you can shout it, bravo, bravo. Alrighty, so enjoy the show, whether you're reading a drama or watching a performance. Now, your assignments. You're going to practice reading a play of your own. So you're going to read the play called The Millionaire Miser. It is linked here, but it is also found in your Springboard book on page 298. Once you've read the entire play, you're going to complete the Google form that is posted in this assignment. So make sure you're using those strategies we discussed today, and have fun. Enjoy The Millionaire Miser. Try and get some family members involved and give out roles and then you guys can act it out. Send a video to your teachers. It'll be fun. All right, guys. Hope you're all doing well. See you later.